the that lie by the center of the map also have a Panzerschreck at their disposal, and that's no good for the for the Tiger that just fell prey to the sticky bomb being thrown by those V2 riflemen, and is now has an M8 hunting it down, and some 80 guns creeping up towards its position. So that Tiger, I would say, is probably gonna go down. A squad of repair pioneers out of the med bunker try to repair the Tiger, but they're quickly focused down by the riflemen, and that Tiger is being blocked by the M8. Now, however, the M8 does have to eventually retreat, back off, because it was really low on health, but the rifleman still hunting down for the Tiger, but that will prove to be their demise. The Tiger annihilates the squad of riflemen that were not only at veterans level 2, but they even had a Panzerschreck. So there you go. However, the 80 gun has been what the hell? The 80 gun kills the Tiger kills the 80 gun. At the moment when the crew of the 80 gun was feeling so happy that they had attained veterancy, they just died. So painful. Squad of pioneers making a move for the cutoff right outside of the American players' base are gonna be chased down by riflemen and teammates and engineers, but they're gonna be fine, at least for now. And the harassment game is still strong by the Wehrmacht player. You see those folks capping the northmost fuel of the American player right outside of his base. And now map control, oddly enough, in the hands of a Wehrmacht player. So a Wehrmacht player with not so many infantry squads at his disposal. Cloaked Storm making a move for the American pack gun. They're probably gonna take it out in a jiffy, and yes, they will. However, the gun still lies around. It will eventually be recruited at some point or the other, and the American player fears, of course, and next another Tiger hitting the field, and rightfully so, because that is what just happened. And in the meantime, the Wehrmacht player was researching veterans level 3 for his tanks, and now a Vet 3 Tiger is a whole different thing than a Vet 1 Tiger. So that's double the trouble for the American player to deal with. And an M8 blocking it this time may not be enough, especially if you take into account the fact that now one of the two American AT guns has been decrewed right by that strategic sector to the north of the Wehrmacht player's base, and is really hard for the American player, to take it back. So he will eventually have to use his other AT gun that still lies there, decrewed by the North Victory Point, as well as the pack that was decrewed by their stormtroopers. So lots of guns lying on the field in this game. Previously we had those MGs, and now we have the packs and the AT guns. And we even have a Stu on the field at veterans level 3 nonetheless. And the Stu makes a move for towards the American force. Rifleman, of course, at veterans level 2, throwing a stick against the Tiger. But they will have to back off because they almost died there. The AT gun, the 57mm AT gun, has been recruited by the American player. It's going to be staying there for a little bit, although I'm pretty sure if the Wehrmacht player moved in with his Tiger and his Stu, that AT gun would die in like 2 seconds. But probably the Wehrmacht player is fearing some other AT gun being in the back. And that's of course the reason why he wouldn't dare to advance. Now, the airborne choice by the American player, the late actually airborne choice by the American player, seems not to be working in his favor, I would say. Because at the time he got it, the Wehrmacht player already had veterans level 3 on his infantry, so I was really Not so sure what he was trying to achieve with a strafing run. And he's not using any paratrooper with recoilless rifles, so I'm not so sure about that either. He did have his tank depot quite early, so why would you airdrop AT guns when you could just get them right out of your motor pool, or get an M8 out of your tank depot? So yeah, there you go. Stu, by the way, taking a shot on the 57mm AT gun, decruise it completely. Of course, nearby stormtroopers helped a bit. Sticky being thrown on the Stu, in conjunction with the previously captured pack, will destroy the Stu, will give those riflemen squad the veterans level 3. However, the Tiger seems to be moving in. Veterans level 3 riflemen still around, though. If they take shots on those repairing pioneers, that would mean another loss of pioneers for the Wehrmacht player, but they just opt to throw a stick on the Tiger that's now damaged engine. The pack continues firing on the Tiger. Now the riflemen seem to be making a move for the pioneers. The pioneers promptly retreat. That Tiger will get another sticky, and that is a vet 3 sticky, I would say. So the damage that is being done on the Tiger is quite significant. By the way, a squad of engineers, I think, went down towards the South Victory, near the South Victory point, and Tiger still being hunted down by the pack, and those riflemen being blocked by the M8. The M8 that occasionally takes a shot at the Tiger, although does not seem to be doing any damage at all. And of course, it seems that the Tiger needs 3 shots in order to kill a Vet 3 M8, so we got that right. The pack miserably missing once again against the Tiger, but this time it did not miss, it actually got the kill. And it actually got veterancy, American veterancy. I don't know how this works actually. It's a pack with the veterancy, but gained by an American player, so what the hell are the bonuses? That's something to investigate. A squad of riflemen being annihilated in the west by a squad of folks and a squad of folks. Is that a legendary folk squad still around? Yes, they are. 38 infantry kills. Still hanging in there by the strategic sector to the north. Grenades being exchanged between the storms and the engineers. Nope. This is not CoH Online, people. Between the storms and the riflemen. The M8 once again, of course, makes the day difficult for the Wehrmacht infantry. Will force off those stormtroopers. M8 now at 36 infantry kills. Not bad at all. M10 has hit the field, but is meeting up with a piece of equipment of their own, and that is, of course, the 57mm AT gun of the American player that is now in the hands of the Wehrmacht player. So pack in the hands of the American player, M1 AT gun in the hands of the Wehrmacht player. There you go. Exchange AT guns, people. Exchange weapons. Folks do have a bar, a squad of riflemen did have a Panzerschreck. So I would say, relations between these two armies are pretty cool if they're exchanging gifts. Another Tiger on the field. Yes, that's the third Tiger that hits the field. Was there manpower blitz used in the meantime? I'm not so sure. Maybe not actually, because given the kills of the folks on the field and that single squad of stormtroopers that has been around for quite a while, I would say that the Wehrmacht player has not been investing in any more infantry squads. And while I was saying that, a strafing run decrued the captured M1 gun and forced the retreat on the stormtroopers. And once again, the harassment game strong by the Wehrmacht player. I'm not so sure if that will pay off for him in the end. Those Volks once again making a move for the northmost fuel. The third Tiger is now facing off an M10 gun. An M10 gun? Nope. An M10 tank destroyer, the Vet 3 M8, a Sherman, and a pack that tries to creep up against its position, actually towards its position, I would say. This time the Tiger is not blocked by the M8, it is blocked by the M10, so tomato, tomato, whatever. The morale of the story, Tiger is being blocked, and the AT gun is creeping up behind those riflemen, or the M10 respectively, and tries to kill the Tiger that has no infantry support because the Wehrmacht infantry is capping the map. Hell yeah, I'll cap the map, I don't care about the Tiger. I can get another Tiger. By the way, Tiger destroyed actually the M10 as well as the Sherman, the M4 Sherman, so that's all good for for the Wehrmacht player. I don't know, I'm not so sure anymore. Although Tiger still lying around, the captured pack making a move against the Tiger, but there are a squad of Volks Grenadiers nearby. They're taking shots, of course, from those riflemen and the M8. Folks, still capping the map, now into the hands of the Wehrmacht player for most of its part, and may actually that may win the Wehrmacht player the game, because the American player will soon be really constrained manpower and fuel income wise, and that's something that you do not really want to see. Although, of course, his supply drops may give him some income. Is it gonna be enough? Well, let's see. 193 victory points for our Wehrmacht player, 147 for our American player, and now we are at the 46 minute, 43, 44, 45 second mark, and I heard the sniper going down. I'm not so sure to what he went down, probably to riflemen, I would say, or even the M8. I don't know how many stuff that M8 has killed. By the way, Tiger did not die in the previous engagement, and it's actually being repaired by those repair pioneers, by the repair bunker. So that Tiger is still on the field, and the American player seems to just be realizing it. Just annihilating a squad of riflemen, that Tiger is not gonna be enough. Tiger still on the field, and M8 has been built, M10, I'm sorry, has been built by the American player. It seemed to be moving towards the position of the Tiger. Will it be enough? The Tiger now slowly being repaired by those pioneers. Let's see, Vet 3 riflemen, however, making a move towards the Tiger. Are they gonna throw a sticky? Of course they will. They have been doing that all game long. Grenadiers being reformed, so there has been a med bunker by the Wehrmacht player near the strategic sector to the north of his base. First squad seems to be out by that med bunker. Not too shabby, I would say, for the Wehrmacht player that now has some, infantry squads at veterans level 3 popping out for him. It will help him cap the map even faster and hold control of the map even easier. Although the Tiger did eventually went down to the M10 that gets veterans level 1 for its trouble. Rifleman squads, just 2 at the time being for our American player. Although one of them at versus level 3, the other one at versus level 1. But are there going to be enough against now 2 squads of Grenadiers and 2 squads of Volks and Stormtroopers with the 2 MP44s? I'm not so sure. 2 M10s on the field, a pack on the field by our Wehrmacht player. A pack, of course, may be of some help in fighting off those M10s or that M8, which still is on the field. 46 infantry kills. Takes, however, now a shot from the second pack, and it's gonna be enough actually, because the M8 did go down to the pack. Hell yeah. And I would say that is the nail in the coffin for our American player. Although you could argue that the M8 at this portion of the game, so late into the game, might not be that much of a deal. Well, it was at veterans level 3. It blocked 2 Tigers and helped actually kill those 2 Tigers. It would be still able to drive off rifle, folks equipped with MP44s or even the bars, and it would be an asset against fighting the weapons teams, and by weapons teams, of course, I mean HMGs, by the Wehrmacht player, and of course it would be helping against the storms, but now it's not going to happen anymore. And those two M10s, not. They may be trying to crash the Volks or the Grens or the Storms, but now two packs on the field. Actually, one pack and one, 57. It's gonna be tough even for those two M10s to do anything against them. Unless there's a strafe in there somewhere, so, some of them get decrewed, and the American player pushes a little bit more with his infantry, but he's really starving for manpower and starving for infantry squads. The losses have been so many for him that I really don't think at this point he can really fight that manpower war anymore. Which will even be, which will be even more difficult if, for example, there are even more MGs on the field. Actually, maybe the MGs wouldn't be that much of a trouble, but a Vet 3 Tiger and a Vet 3 Stu will certainly be much of a trouble. Of course, if you couple them with the pack or the 57, the 57 did went down actually, did go down to some riflemen. What's new there? But Storm is still around. We had manpower blitz being used by our Wehrmacht player, so he got all the manpower he needed in order to field that Tiger and the Stu. Oh yeah. There you go. We even have a bunker, an MG42 bunker that you do not normally see, but in games that long as this one, MG42 bunkers can be invaluable in holding down victory points. And although victory points are still in favor of the Wehrmacht player, he surely does not want to play, I guess, the victory point game against an American player. That even if he does not have that many infantry squads, he can still field riflemen's with bars and make the day difficult for for him. The Stu taking fire from the AT gun. I'm not so sure the target prioritization actually should be the Stu and not the Tiger, but it's okay. M10s move in for the kill. Main gun destroyed on the Stu, I'm sorry, but it won't go down. The AT gun, however, does go down. Tiger still almost at full health. Takes one more shot on the M10. The M10 will eventually go down quite quickly. And yes, I can safely say this game has been decided. It will go in favor of the Wehrmacht player. Quite a few losses by either side, especially in the early game. It made for an unusual mid-game, I would say, mid-late game, with harassment being kept at high levels by our Wehrmacht players, something that you do not often see. And with lots of veterancy after a while, and of course with lots of weapon upgrades on almost every squad on the field. MP44 on Volks, MP44 on Storms, Streks, legendary M8 I would say, exchange of AT guns for quite some time, and lots of Tigers on the field. Some dying stupidly, I would say, some not so stupidly. They could have a bit more of an impact on the field if they were supported by that Wehrmacht infantry that was capping the map instead of supporting its tanks. But it worked out for the Wehrmacht player, so so there you go. You have your answer to that. Not so sure. The early shock unit in the form of the M8 by the American player, I think at that point he could have used it a little bit more aggressive, given the fact that he saw those storms on the field with no weapon upgrades. He should have guessed that there was no AT gun, any pack on the field anytime soon, and he had already a squad of engineers equipped with minesweepers. Just push the M8 a little bit towards the Wehrmacht player's base, probe there with your engineer, see if there's any mines in the entrance where you usually see the mines, and make a move for the Wehrmacht player base. There was no real counter for the M8. If that M8 has driven into the into the Wehrmacht player's base at the moment it hit the field, and there were only storms on the field, and that didn't even have a punch check for 2 minutes, I would tell you right now, this game would have taken a freaking different turn. But anyway, it was a fun game. I can't say, and I'm pretty sure you witnessed it yourselves. You couldn't say that it was really top notch or anything. There were lots of losses by either side. There were times that some units died for no reason. But it's another game, and as long as you see stuff, and by seeing stuff I mean that MG42 folks that were on the field before the second rifleman squad, that's a thing that you need to look at. But if you take the word of the quote reliable sources on the forums, and by reliable sources I mean the experts and the administrators, those changes to the Wehrmacht T1 are most possibly, probably, whatever, gonna be reverted, so you wouldn't have to worry too much about them, I would say. But the discussion is good. Playing is also good. The thread discussing this particular patch has a lot of replies and a lot of views, so that's a good thing. That's the purpose of the beta, although I would like to see some more games being played, but you can't force that, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the game. Keep playing the beta. Try your best. See if you can figure out what the hell's going on there. See if you can find any bugs. And yeah, that's all for now. Enjoy the game. DaRealRocky out.